Do you want to learn how to do hidden message time-lapses sync to any audio using any model? Then watch this video. First things first, you're going to need a 3D printer. This will work with pretty much any printer, but the built-in cameras usually have poor angles and quality. So you will need a setup with external camera or a phone and shutter release. Personally, I prefer the bed slingers like the Bambu A1 or Creality High for my time-lapses. I added a simple shutter release using a limit switch wired to my camera. I highly recommend using a power bank or dummy battery to avoid any interruptions. And make sure you've got consistent lighting with a couple of lamps. Now let's prep the model. The biggest time saver here is the custom spreadsheet I made. It handles all the boring calculations for you. You will find a link to it in the description and on my profile. For slicer, I tested this with Cura, Bambu Studio, Orca Slicer and Creality Print. The general process is the same across all of them, but each slicer handles coordinates a little differently. I will explain that in just a bit. Don't worry, my spreadsheet accounts for all of them. The last thing you'll need is the audio clip you want to sync with the time-lapse and of course the actual model you want to print. For example, this is one of my latest time-lapses.
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks. Who are you talking to right now? Who is it you think you see?
Step 1. Audio analysis. Drop the audio file into your video editor. We now need to find two things: the clip's duration and the sequence frame rate. In my case, I made a sequence myself, so I know it is 30 FPS. If you are unsure, go to your sequence settings to check. To get the audio length, I just right click the clip, select speed, duration, and I can see it is 6 seconds and 2 frames long. Enter those values into the spreadsheet. Step 2. Model layer setup. You need to figure out how many layers your model has and the layer height you'll print at. In my case, it's 650 layers at 0.2 millimeters. The spreadsheet will automatically calculate the total height of the model, which is important for the reasons we're about to cover. In Cura, z equals 0 is the bed or the bottom of the selected model. But in Bambu Studio, Orca and Creality slicers, z equals 0 represents the middle of the model. This introduces some complications, but again, my spreadsheet compensates for that. Step 3. Breaking down the audio. Now go back to your audio clip and decide how you want to divide up the words and phrases. For each one, note the start and the end time. Again, in full seconds and extra frames. In the spreadsheet, write the text, then plug in the start and end times for each segment. Do that for the full clip. Step 4. Creating text STLs. Now we can generate the actual STLs for the texts. Use any tool or CAD software you like, but I do recommend the CAD 3D printing text-to-STL generator. Choose text only, pick your font, type in your phrase, and click Export STL. Repeat for each phrase. Step 5. Assembling in the slicer. I'll show you my preferred workflow. I chose this model of a cat, but first I will demonstrate using this block which has the same total height. Import all of your text STLs. Rename them in order and stack them on top of each other. Then scale and position them so they fit inside of the model. Don't worry about being perfect, you can fine-tune later. Select the model and text objects and merge them. Now starting with the first text layer. Select it and open the Move tool. In the Z coordinate field, input the value from the spreadsheet. Use the value from the left column for the Cura and the values from the right column for Bambu Creality and Orca. Then go to the scale settings, unchecked uniform scale, and input the Z value from the spreadsheet. After that, right-click the part in the object list, go to Change Type and mark it as negative part. Repeat this for each text STL. Now slice the model and check that everything is aligned. Use the layer slider to make sure the first text layer appears at the correct height. If something's off, adjust accordingly. Minor deviations within your layer height are completely normal. Once that's done, you can print the model, import the image sequence into your video editor, and adjust the speed to match the audio length. You will get a perfectly synced time-lapse. Now let's talk about a common issue. Take this cat model. It is the same height as our block, but the ears do not give us enough room for the text. Here's my solution. Slice the model. Use the layer slider to find the highest point you're comfortable using as your ceiling. In my case, that's layer 550. In Cura, it's easy. You just update the layer count field in the spreadsheet to match that height. In other slices, it is trickier due to the coordinate system. The safest workaround I found is to slightly increase the video length input until the combined thickness and height of the last text layer stays below the ceiling. Now, all of this should be completed before you actually adjusted any of the text layers. But since I used the cube to demonstrate the process, I will show you how I can transfer everything from the cube to the model of the cat. This technique could be used if you want to use the same text for different kind of models. All you have to do is move the cube to the same plate as the cat, select everything and merge them together. Now in the objects menu you can select the cube and delete it. Now for the text layers, going one by one, input the adjusted values from the spreadsheet. Since this is not a regularly shaped model, you will most likely have to adjust the positioning so everything fits inside of the model. You can change anything you want at this point, but you just have to make sure the Z positioning coordinate is exactly the same as the one given to you by the spreadsheet, and the same thing goes for the thickness. Everything else is adjustable. I only use smooth time lapses and I slightly modified my G-code on Bambu A1. The bed extends fully before the head parks and triggers the shutter. Also, I highly advise to leave the prime tower enabled to avoid messed up prints. This is a common misconception that the prime tower is used only for multicolor prints. The prime tower is not used for purging filament, it is used to rebuild the pressure lost when the head is parked and leaking filament. You can see this in effect looking at the model we just designed and printed. Inspecting the prime tower clearly shows there is under extrusion exactly where the nozzle begins the travel, and also you can see a lot of stringing and imperfections. Without the prime tower, all of those would land on the model. And double check that the time-lapse recording is enabled before sending the print. I've wasted way too much time forgetting that setting. So that's it. I have no idea if this is the easiest or the most efficient way to do this kind of time-lapse, but it is the only method I've been able to figure out so far. If you know of a better one, I'd love to hear it, drop it in the comments. If this video was helpful, leave a like and feel free to ask any questions down below. I'll be happy to help you out. Okay, see ya!